Is in high demand, higher than it has been in years. Dustin.
Yeah, Debbie, a win isn't just great for fans, it's also big business here in Indiana. In fact, we learned in some cases it's actually putting people to work.
Out high, Oladipo!
Hoosier hysteria starts here, but it's made here, and this season
we're extremely busy. We've been very busy with anything striped this year.
Lots of it. While fans bleed cream and crimson, Taylor Imprinted Sportswear, just a few miles from campus, prints it. They shipped $250,000 in merchandise just last month.
Usually this is our slow time, and we're really doing a lot of cleaning and polishing and preparing for the next fall season.
But now, as the Hoosiers march further down the road to victory,
we actually put on an extra shift in order to get out IU products.
Dozens of employees to make products that haven't gone this fast in years. University officials say royalties for IU merchandise are up more than 30% this year so far, and that doesn't include tournament sales.
Chase got a sweatshirt.
March Madness drove the Smith family to campus Tuesday.
Definitely had to come back and get some apparel as we get excited for the tourney this weekend. It's fun. You know, we were down in the dumps for a while, and it's kind of good to rise from the ashes, as the book says, so it's good.
Sweet 16 bound. Fans hope the Hoosiers are ready. They sure are here.
Really happy to see that Crean has turned the program around.
The company says they will have workers standing by. Once a Hoosier win happens, those people will come in, they'll start printing off shirts and shipping them. They say they can do up to several thousand an hour. Live downtown tonight, Dustin Grove, 24-hour News 8.
And what it's causing. Dustin.
Eric and Debbie County leaders I spoke with told me this really started with property tax caps several years ago and lost tax revenue with a loss of a major business. And their money woes are not over yet. Some of the toughest decisions may still be to come. Outside, the snow's melting with spring here, but inside the Delaware County building,
I need the last 5 of your social security number.
It's not so rosy.
Yes, I worry.
Workers worried about their job, the next paycheck, and keeping the office lights on. How concerned are you about this situation you're in?
Oh, I'm very concerned.
The auditor says the county's in a cash crunch, the general fund too low to pay bills.
I worry about the day-to-day. You know, I'm concerned down the road, but I'm also more concerned about the day-to-day because we have to keep the doors open.
A few weeks ago, the council voted to move over $1.5 million in rainy day reserve money. This week, they voted to move over most of the rest, another $1.4 million.
In order to keep government working.
County officials say it's the persistent problem that's plagued them for the last few years. There have been layoffs, 4-day work weeks, and more part-time employees to counter the crunch. But for Councilmember Scott Alexander, the real problem?
The bottom line is we're spending more money in Delaware County than we have to operate on, and we need to change that.
He was the lone vote against using that rainy day money. He says the council kicked the can down the road.
My reason in voting against borrowing money wasn't to shut down government. It was to finally face the reality that's here today. Now that we have no more money to fall back on, we've got to start making the hard decisions that we were put there to make.
Councilmember Alexander didn't say where those cuts or changes would come from. He just says he knows they need to be made. They'll get relief later this spring when tax collections come in, but until then, they may have to apply for a loan from the bank. Alexander says that will cost the county about $15,000 a month in interest. Debbie, I reached out to several other council members for their thoughts today, but so far have not heard back.